Hi, Elizabeth here for Fortean Fish, and I'm here to talk about my top 5 favorite fish of all time. Now, these are fish that I've personally had experience with and that I've loved and have actually kept. So, I have kept these fish. I may not be keeping them currently, but I love them. I definitely will be coming back to them if I'm not keeping them right now. Number 5 on my list is the blue-eyed lemon bristlenose pleco, as you can see here. They can live about 5 years and they're great community tank members. This one often hid away. Most plecos do. They only get about 4 to 5 inches. I believe a 20 gallon tank is like the minimum, though I think I've seen people push lower, but I really think bigger is always better. In any case, this one was great. The reason I said this one's my favorite, it was easy to find and see in my aquarium. I have a zebra pleco right now that I can't find because it blends in so well with the wood in my aquarium, and like I have a lot of hidey places for it. This one, even if it was hiding, you're gonna find it. So at some point I definitely will return to this just because it's eye-catching, they're interesting, they're cute, and they get along well with other fish. Next up I have the peacock gudgeon, which you can see here. They get to be about between 2 to 3 inches, and minimum tank size should be 15 gallons. Despite their small size, they do swim quite a bit, and they cover most areas of the tank, though in my experience they tend to stay towards the bottom. They're gorgeous. They live about 4 to 5 years. And the reason I love this one so much is that they would come up and greet you at the glass. They're like tiny little puppies, and they're itty bitty, and they're so individualistic. Like they'll come up and like interact with your finger. They follow you around no matter what. When I was working back in the pandemic, the peacock gudgeon constantly was by my side in the tank, just constantly watching what I was doing. They're super curious and they're so gorgeous. They're beautiful. And I actually plan on getting one again soon for the tank I have, my rainbow tank. So next up on my list is apistogrammas, though this one's an Apistogramma agassizii. Yes, say that 30 times. There are so many species of pistogrammas, so really I'm counting all of them. They're a dwarf cichlid and a great community tank fish, and they're also great for about a 15 gallon, 20 gallon if you're looking for a fish that's going to get everyone. Sorry, had to move somewhere else. But what I was saying was they're great community fish. They get along really well with other fish, though they do usually stake out a little bit of territory, and anyone in that territory, they don't want a part of it. Again, about 5 years is their lifespan, and they also, just to be considerate of this, they're not geophagous, earth eaters, but they do like sand to sift through, and so you'll see them sift through it and empty it out through their gills. So I highly recommend that you have a sand substrate with these guys. Number 2 is rainbow fish. As you can see here, I have some Bosmani behind me, and if you've been following my channel, you've probably seen my rainbow fish, and I love them. They almost made number 1. I will never not have these guys. I think they're amazing. The reason I love them so much, first of all, let's talk about, like, you know, how long they live, their parameters, all that. These guys shouldn't be in anything less than really a 55 gallon. A 40 long would be fine for a 40 breeder. I've seen people put these in 29 gallon tanks. I don't think they should be in 29 gallon tanks. They need the space, ideally 4 feet of space to swim. They live, depending on the species, anywhere from 5 to even 9 years, and some even longer I've seen online. And they get bigger than your average community fish, usually between 4 to 7 inches. Yeah, so in theory you could have quite a huge fish. This guy here is currently in my tank, and this is an older picture of him, but he's sitting about 5 inches now. So they get big. So that's problem number 1. The other thing is they're fast shoaling fish. They actually do kind of do a shoaling behavior together, meaning they don't school, but they do travel together, and that's why I like them. So you're going to need more, which is great because they're rainbow fish. You want color, and they come in different colors and species. Right, finally, last but certainly not least, the betta fish. And yes, I say beta and not betta. I know, I'm Southern though. So the betta fish, formerly called the Siamese fighter fish, are the entryway to a lot of hobbyists. Either goldfish or betta fish usually are. And for me, it was betta fish. And I've been keeping betta fish since I was in college. Because it's one of the only pets you could have in college. They are so beautiful, come in so many colors, as you can see here. This was my old betta fish Jubilee. And different varieties like veil tail, and this one is a placket, half moon. There's a whole bunch. I've got videos on betas, so go and see that video. But betas are supposed to live usually between 4 to 7 years. I've seen some go longer, almost a decade. The longest one I've had was 4 years. And unfortunately, there's a big problem in the hobby that a lot of them they've just not been bred for longevity. And it's not uncommon to see them dying at 1 or 2 years old. And part of that's genetics, but part of it is also because they're also the most abused fish in the hobby. They fight each other, so people will literally buy them on purpose to fight. There's that problem. And they also can live in pretty terrible conditions. Like, they can live in a ½ inch of water that hasn't been changed in months. You should never do that. Again, see my other video on betta fish keeping, and I have more information about that. But at the moment, I actually don't have any betta fish. I kind of want to get one eventually. I'm thinking about it, but I am just taking a break from them right now. But I can feel them already pulling me back in. They always do. And I kind of want to set up a new tank, but right now I'm setting up a native tank, so look out for more information and videos on that. And this is my top fish. Thanks.